The body of a 19-hour-old infant is found here at the USC Cardinal Gardens apartment complex. Find out what a witness told us she saw.
Coming up, a terminal at LAX is being demolished. Find out why.
And the Dodgers take the lead in the World Series in a dramatic, tiring fashion.
Annenberg TV News is next.
Tonight, LA police are investigating the death of a newborn found at Cardinal Gardens student housing. Hi, I'm Lizzy Brunn.
And I'm Sebastian Soto. Reporter Gianmarco Velásquez is live outside Cardinal Gardens to tell us more. Gianmarco, what do we know?
That's right, guys. I'm here in front of the USC Cardinal Gardens apartment complex. It's student housing that's right across the street from the USC Village and just a walking distance from USC's main campus. It is here where Monday night, last night, tragically, the body of a 19-hour-old infant was found here. Now, this is very much up in the air. This is an ongoing investigation, and there are many questions that are to be raised. We spoke with the witness that saw what happened here last night. Here's a little bit about what she had to say yesterday.
One of the cars of the doors of LAPD or GPS, one of the law enforcement, their radio was on, and I did hear that they were investigating a little bit further and that there was an infant in the premises that was unalive. When I started getting a little bit further, just walking more, I did notice one of the, I don't know if it's like investigator, I don't know what to really label them as, but they were carrying something very small that was wrapped around. And that's when I noticed that maybe this is something more serious.
Now, as we mentioned last night, LAPD surrounded Cardinal Gardens student housing to investigate this grim discovery, the body of that infant just 19 hours old. It's important that we disclose that the timeline is still very unclear and there are more questions than answers. 911 call logs obtained by Annenberg Media via Citizen app caught the conversations about the incident. And according to LAPD, the incident was booked in their system at around 1:30 Tuesday morning. Now, today, student residents are saddened by this discovery and anxious to know a bit more about what exactly happened in their building. Here's a little bit about what they had to say.
But also finding out that news this morning was kind of like, wow, you really don't know what's going on in your community until like it actually happens. So
I only found out this morning after looking at like an email from like the morning children stuff where they like documented all the stuff that happened, and LAPD apparently made a statement about it, but not like DPS or anything.
And Gianmarco, like you mentioned, this is an ongoing investigation. Unfortunately, a lot more questions than answers at this moment. I do want to ask you about that witness that you spoke to. She mentioned hearing something over the radio about an infant, and she saw something small that was wrapped. Can you tell me a little bit more about the conversation you had with her and about what she saw?
Yeah, that's right. The witness does not live at Cardinal Gardens. She lives on 30th Street, just behind it. But she mentioned that at around 11 p.m. Monday night, last night, she was walking on McClintock Avenue where she came across heavy police, heavy multi-agency enforcement. There was a mix of DPS, LAPD, and also the fire department and ambulances were present. There was a perimeter marked off with yellow tape, and this is something that she came across, which startled her. She overheard police chatter scanner where she heard out 19-hour-old infant, and she kind of connected the dots when she saw what was presumably this infant being carried out, wrapped around in a blanket. Now, it is very important to disclose once more that this is up in the air. The investigation is ongoing. Annenberg Media attempted to reach out to the Department of Public Safety. They redirected us to LAPD, who mentioned that they are the ones that are taking the reins at the investigation and that they cannot disclose anything to the public. That's pretty much all we have for now. I'm live here at USC. Gianmarco Velásquez, back to you guys.
Thanks, Gianmarco. LAX air traffic controllers are on the picket line. The government shutdown is in its 4th week, and it's the first week without a paycheck. Workers with the National Air Traffic Controllers Association gathered at LAX to spread awareness of the staffing crisis and to call citizens to action.
We drove all the way down here to do this today to hand out leaflets and spread awareness. We even have QR codes that we can scan to help people go and get engaged to write their members of Congress and ask them to end this shutdown. We're going to work 6 days a week, often held to 10-hour shifts every single time to work without a paycheck.
Controllers are still expected to work overtime, raising safety concerns. Workers in this high-stress job are even more stressed by financial worries.
I'm going to say this on both sides, Democrats and Republicans. I don't think any senator should be receiving a paycheck until every federal employee, every employee that has not received a check is paid in full. And personally, I think they ought to be losing their salaries for the duration of the closure.
Zero paycheck days and increasing pressure on air traffic controllers will likely continue as long as the government remains shut down.
Beginning today, LAX Terminal 5 is closed to be fully rebuilt and upgraded as part of the airport's $30 billion capital improvement program. The plan is designed to smooth the LAX travel experience ahead of some major events, including the 2028 Olympic Games. These are the airlines that will be affected. JetBlue will now operate out of Terminal 1, Spirit Airlines will now operate out of Terminal 2, and American Airlines will now operate out of Terminal 4. Terminal 5 is scheduled to reopen just before the July 2028 Olympic Games.
11:50 in Los Angeles. Coleman sends a fly ball to center field. Varsho's going back before the clock strikes me. Freeman has ended it.
The LA Dodgers made history again, this time for the longest World Record Series game to date. Freddie Freeman hit a home run in the 18th inning to win Game 3. USC students at the game last night were lucky to witness history.
The game was electric. I mean, 18 innings of classic baseball and just so much fun to watch, some great pitching. Incredible performances from Shohei Ohtani.
Was there till 2 a.m. Freddie Freeman, Shohei 9 for 9, just witnessing history, watching the greatest team to do the greatest things. Shohei's going to be a little banged up after yesterday. I mean, putting the team on his back a little bit, but we all know he's going to produce. He's going to make it 5 or 6, and then after that it's going to be a bullpen game, and it's going to get interesting.
Last night's Game 3 is tied for the most innings in a World Series game, with another Dodger World Series appearance in 2018. Before that, the longest game was 14 innings in 2015. MLB analyst and professor Rob Parker thought this was one of the best games to date.
Epic World Series game, of course. Whenever you got a game going in extra innings and 18 innings, basically 2 ball games, and it finishes with a walk-off, it's memorable, and people will always remember that. And the people who stayed around for those 7 hours is incredible. It's one of those moments in baseball. Well, it's going to be interesting. Ohtani played a long game yesterday. Now he's going to get on the mound and pitch. How much does he have? You know what I mean? Like, here's one of those moments.
Last night's game clocked in at 6 hours and 39 minutes. The Dodgers now lead the series 2-1 with Game 4 now underway at Dodger Stadium. We'll have more on tonight's action coming up in sports.
Amazon announced plans to lay off 14,000 corporate employees this year. It's part of a broader effort to prepare the company for a large-scale integration of AI technology. Amazon is the second largest private employer in the United States. It says that AI will allow them to be more innovative. USC students expressed mixed feelings on AI replacing employees, especially for big companies like Amazon.
It's definitely boosted a lot of human innovation. The whole boom of AI has basically propelled us by, I don't know, at least 5 years worth of innovation. Previously it was smartphones, and now it's AI that just kind of launches us to the future.
The future in terms of society actually helps a lot. In a way, AI can potentially replace a lot of jobs. I'm not gonna lie, replace a lot of analytics jobs in the future. That's my fear.
Amazon has laid off 14,000 employees so far. It's expected that the cuts will reach 30,000. Amazon has over 350,000 employees, meaning that these cuts represent about 4% of its staff. The cuts Amazon is making is the start of a wider industry shift towards AI. Earlier this year, the company's CEO said AI will change the way work is done with, quote, fewer people doing some jobs and more doing others.
The LA County District Attorney and LA Sheriff are working together in the ongoing fight against fentanyl. Fentanyl deaths have declined in Los Angeles, but still remain the leading cause of death by overdose. Teens and young adults are urged to be vigilant. College students seeking an academic boost can be duped into buying fentanyl-laced pills.
These victims do not know that when they buy that pill and they think it's just going to be an upper or a downer or something that's going to help them be more alert or something that's going to help them sleep, has no quality control. There's no quality control for these pills being sold to these kids and young adults. So they think it's going to be something that's going to help them, and it's actually something that's going to kill them.
While fentanyl-related deaths in Los Angeles surged in 2023, this number has since declined. In 2024, fentanyl-related overdoses saw a 37% decrease, thanks to the collaborative efforts of law enforcement and Los Angeles medical teams. This year, Downey police seized over 50 pounds of fentanyl from just one apartment, an amount that could sell for more than $1 million.
Today is Vote Early Day, dedicating to helping voters understand their options for casting their ballot before Election Day. For the special election here in California, voters are deciding on Prop 50, which would remap the voting districts in the state. Vote Early Day helps people avoid conflicts that may prevent them from exercising their right to vote.
Vote Early Day was started in 2020 by our friends at MTV. It's an opportunity for businesses, nonprofits, campus groups, election administrators, and anybody that cares about our democracy to come together for a day of action that inspires people to cast their ballots ahead of Election Day. There's a number of challenges that students specifically face that could be even more troublesome if you wait until the last minute to cast your ballot until Election Day.
4 million people in Southern California have already cast their ballot for the special election. 15% of those voters were here in Los Angeles, with another 22% in Orange County. The closest place to vote early near USC is at the Amundsen Senior Center in Exposition Park. It's open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Early voting here at the USC Village starts this Saturday.
Coming up, we'll check in with Ian on our 5-day forecast.
Hurricane Melissa made landfall in Jamaica, bringing destructive winds and rain.
And another new student housing complex is late on its promised final construction date.
Hurricane Melissa, with its pounding rain and whipping winds, made landfall today in Jamaica. It's the most powerful hurricane ever to hit the island. Almost every parish in the country is dealing with blocked roads, fallen trees, and excessive flooding. The hurricane is now heading toward Cuba. At landfall, winds reach 185 miles per hour. Rainfall totals up to 30 inches in some areas, triggering catastrophic flooding, with homes, hospitals, and other parts of the southwest Jamaica hit the hardest. Now, taking a look back here in LA, we are experiencing much more drier conditions as we are experiencing the first Santa Ana wind event of the season. Taking a look at current conditions outside, right now it is 83 degrees, so you feel that heat and that low humidity sticking around 37%. Diving into the 5-day forecast. Over the next 2 days, we are really seeing how those Santa Ana winds are affecting us, bringing that low humidity, high temperatures, and some gusty winds, and an increased wildfire risk across the Southland. This morning, the National Weather Service put in effect a heat advisory for Los Angeles County to 7 p.m. tomorrow. As you can see, tomorrow we have a high of 90 degrees, staying very hot and dry like today, but we then do see a gradual cool off come later into the hollow weekend, as many like to say, with those conditions staying around the low 80s and high and lows in the low 60s, high 50s. Also, it's that time of year. Don't forget to turn the clocks as we fall back an hour come daylight savings. That was meteorologist Maile checking weather on the daily. Back to you guys at the desk.
Sure to be a sunny week. Thank you, Ian. A brand new apartment complex was set to open near USC in August, but it's now October and the building still has not opened for residents, leaving some students without a place to stay. It's called Tessera, a new complex coming to the Exposition Park neighborhood south of campus. Management has pushed back the move-in date several times. They claim that delays with the city prevented the building from having water and electricity.
I think it's, when you build a new building, it's always the most challenging. I think a lot of properties in the area have had delays, and a lot of them actually have been caused by utility companies getting, just the utilities ready to the property. But going forward, I mean, it's going to be, we have everything now. We have power, we have all the utilities, the building's going to be 100% done, and this is a one-time delay.
Management proposed two options. The first is to find their own housing and receive a $2,000 stipend plus $500 every week. The second is to live in the Lorenzo while paying Tessera rent and receive a $500 stipend plus $125 every week. The building is now finally set to open on Thursday, with frustrated residents eager to move in.
So I've been staying in Airbnbs, I've been couch surfing, staying in friends' rooms like in Tuscany. It will be nice once it finally opens, but it's just annoying that it took forever, or is taking forever.
I started off commuting the first few weeks, but once midterms started kicking in, I knew that I could not handle commuting. Plus, Tessera kind of just feels like giving us money is going to make everything better, but at the end of the day, that only helps with so much.
This is the 6th time that the building has pushed the move-in date back. Management says this is the last time, but residents told us they're not sure what to believe.
What's up, Trojans? I'm Lucca Chrysostomou, and how else to start off sports than with Let's Go Dodgers. Man, is it a great time to be a Dodgers fan right now, because before midnight last night, Freddie Freeman walked off the record 18-inning World Series Game 3. And right now, the Dodgers are looking to ride that momentum to a Game 4 win, which would put them one step away from winning it all. We'll give you a live update coming soon. We'll also look at the football team and how pressure is rising on Lincoln Riley. And everyone's favorite crosstown rivalry is back for another edition tomorrow night as USC takes on UCLA in women's volleyball in what is sure to be a classic. All that and more coming up on ATVN Sports.
USG election season has kicked off.
They have a huge game on Thursday, right?
Huge.
Prior to that, he couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat.
And a warning tonight about a massive storm heading our way.
We're live here at the Galen Center. What would y'all do if you had $2.5 million?
Music, art, and women empowerment.
And she put her stamp on Big Ten history.
Those are men swimming like fish.
Thanks for watching.
Annenberg TV News. You never miss an episode.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Thanks for watching.
So, live from the Halo is USC Annenberg's take on NPR's Tiny Desk concerts. This is like a platform for USC students and adjunct students just to perform and play their music for an audience.
and welcome back to ATVN Sports. I'm Tony Senhaji.
And I'm Lucca Chrysostomou.
The greatest game in Dodgers history? Maybe. And we know Freddie Freeman was that guy, but let's not forget the other hero of the game, Will Klein. Klein was not on the Dodgers postseason roster for the first 3 rounds of the tournament and was the hero of the bullpen, who before last night had never thrown more than 2 innings in his 22 career Major League appearances. Everyone was emotionally exhausted, including Shohei Ohtani. Take a look.
I will remind you, you are the starting pitcher in the next game. We saw Dave Roberts, your manager, check on you in the 11th inning. How do you feel, and how will you feel tomorrow?
今日の試合の展開っていうところもあって、下の状態、投げることに関してどう思いますか？もう早く帰って寝て明日に備えたいです。I want to go to sleep as soon as possible so I can get ready.
And the score currently is 1-0 Dodgers, with Shohei Ohtani actually having 1 strikeout right now. And that's our live update. The game will be continuing playing tonight on Fox.
And while the Dodgers are already on their hot streak, USC football is trying to start one of their own. Because after their second bye week, USC football is looking to get their season back on track this Saturday versus the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Coming off a heartbreaking loss to rivals Notre Dame, this week will have major implications for the Trojans' future, as a win keeps the team in the playoff race, while a loss puts further pressure on Lincoln Riley, who is confident that his team will step up to the challenge.
This is the part you love. This is the most fun part of the season. These are the most fun games. I think our team is excited and confident. We know there's some things that we have to do better, but we feel like those are things that we can do better, we will do better, that we're in control of, and we're a confident, excited team to not just play this one, but to just go into this closing stretch.
So, Tony, how much of an impact do you think this game will have for Lincoln Riley?
I'm just going to name a couple things. Brian Kelly, James Franklin, they've both gotten fired immediately during the middle of the season. If they don't get this Nebraska game done, I don't see why Lincoln Riley is not on the hot seat.
I'm inclined to agree, but I also think that Lincoln Riley will be given a little more time, especially because of his contract. We have to give him such a big payout in order for him to leave. And I think even if they lose, I don't think he's getting fired, in my opinion.
That's fair. I mean, there's been a lot of payouts, but we'll see what happens.
The pivotal game will be at 4:30 p.m. Saturday on NBC, so make sure to tune in to support your Trojans on the road.
Who really runs LA? USC women's volleyball team is hopefully the answer, because they've been looking for a rematch against their crosstown rivals, the UCLA Bruins. The two colleges played for the first time this season 3 weeks ago, ending in a UCLA sweep against the Trojans. But now USC is on a 4-game winning streak after beating Washington yesterday, which made about 100 career wins for USC head coach Brad Keller. Here's what he had to say about the current version of this team now.
I think that UCLA did a really nice job of teaching us where we were, that we weren't very good, we weren't very disciplined, we were kind of a young team. And my group decided to take that and stare at it, digest it, and go after it. And so we're a very different team than we were when we played them the first time. It's going to be a high-octane game in general, just because that's how it always is that way.
The Trojans ranked 22nd headed against the unranked Bruins tomorrow night at 7. And that's all the time that we got for tonight. Thanks for tuning into ATVN Sports. I'm Tony Senhaji.
And I'm Lucca Chrysostomou. Stay tuned for next week for more from your favorite sports anchors. Sebastian, tell them what we got next.
Thanks, guys. And coming up, Drew brings us another story of a person's journey through life in Guided by Purpose.
this week's Guided by Purpose segment, Drew Richmond is joined by a producer making music on his own terms. Drew, take it away.
My people in Purpose, y'all a little chilly on our stop today? That's because we got multi-platinum producer Skywalker OG with us. He's the man orchestrating some of my favorite hits from my favorite artists. Nearly accumulated over 10 billion streams. But today, it's a little different. His debut album, Expensive Distractions, isn't about other people's stories. It's about his own.
Hotels at 22, now it's mansions in Malibu. Know you feeling me in your room if you slept on the pallet too. But we up now, celebrate double your cup now. Medicate with my boy touchdown, shopping online for a buzz down.
Sky, appreciate you coming with us today, being in the studio with us.
Yes, sir.
I want to get to it. You done work with some of the greats now, Akon, Snoop Dogg. I want to talk about the confidence that it takes to walk in these rooms and show the value that you have within your music.
Yeah, I think that confidence comes from a lot of repeated rejection. You know, you hear enough no's in your path, you do either two things. You either weak enough to let it break you and not, get where you're supposed to be, or you're strong enough to help it prepare you into your purpose, and make you better to the point where you don't hear no more.
Okay, now we got the confidence intact, but I want to talk about trust. I know you might sign some NDAs. We can't talk about all the clients, but you've written, you've built beats. How have you been able to build that trust with some of the great artists you've worked with to say, okay, Skywalker know what he's talking about?
Outside of the actual numbers of everything that I work with, I think the personality of a person has a lot to do with what they're capable of, and I don't never try to hold back any level of my personality, and people feel that genuine energy, and it, instead of being like self-destructive, they know it's here to help. I'm here to help. That's my motto, really. So you get that trust by, making sure that somebody's open to getting the help that you have to offer, and then I'm not here with any malicious intent.
So with having that confidence is being vulnerable.
Yeah, you have to open up, and you have to be ready to hear no to be confident. Like, you have to be ready to hear yes. You got to know they're gonna say yes, but be ready if they say no, and still have the same, strong smile on your face when you walk out the door with your head up.
All right, and I want to talk about environments a little bit. We come from Memphis. We don't get the best reputation, but talk about how your environment can help prepare you to what you need to do within your purpose and build that skill set.
I say all the time, if you can make it in Memphis, you can make it anywhere. I feel like, what people know or what they've gotten told about it is not half of what it has to offer. Some of the most creative people in the world have roots in Memphis, Tennessee, all the way back to Aretha Franklin, all the way back to before that, probably caveman days. Somebody was locked in.
And I want to hear just this last, I want to hear a little bit about Expensive Distractions. Give me the inspiration behind it.
The meaning behind it is, money doesn't buy happiness. It'll help you buy enough stuff to distract you from, the real issues, the real things that can stress you out and, throw you off.
I appreciate you being with us. Look, you've been the star behind others, but now it's your turn.
Not for sure.
To shine your light, guided by purpose.
You did.
Thanks so much, Drew. And thanks for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone at Annenberg Media, I'm Lizzy Brunn.
And I'm Sebastian Soto. For more coverage, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. We'll see you next time. Good night.